And welcome back to another Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. This week we've got the Maker's Mark Frenched Oaked. And we have yet to either of us to taste this one, and it's not been opened. So it's going to be an experience for everyone. So let me go ahead and
Interesting.
open this French bag of dicks.
VV.
No, Thor can't eat that. Don't eat that. Oh, it's a twist top. It's not even a cork. It's a twister. What
They
the
got you. They got you.
These sons of bitches.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get your cup so we can.
Here's my cup. Thank you, sir.
I'll pour myself some. That's a despicable thing that it's a fucking screw top.
Right? But it looks good in these bourbon sauce glasses.
It does look good in that. And you know what else we look good in? Our bourbon sauce hats.
And the bourbon sauce t-shirts.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's go ahead and sniff around. See what we get. It's like, you know, a dog when they put their nose in a dog's butt. Just to sniff it around and see what you smell.
Find out if you like them or not. It's got a good smell.
It's definitely reminds me of something that's very strong.
I kind of get a little bit of a sweet smell.
It's
I can smell a burn on it, but I get a sweet smell with it.
It's only 94 proof, but it smells to me like it's 105 proof. So that's deceiving. For those of you who don't know, how about Maker's Mark? They make a bunch of different stuff. This one is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey barrel finished with 10 virgin, and I say virgin, French oak staves. So they get 10 virgins, whereas, you know, what is it, the Muslims, you get 72 virgins when we send them the... You get 10 virgins in this. But it's, you know, it smells all right. Let's not, you know, let me... I can smell that it's...
Get right up in there. Get a good whiff.
It's definitely oakier than a normal bourbon. And I don't know what the difference between
French oak.
I was gonna say we got to look up what French oak is. You know, the difference between the American oak that they use versus like white oak versus the French oak
and the red oak.
And the red oak. I don't think they use red oak though in the casks.
I don't know.
I think it's all white oak, but we'd have to Google that too. That's kind of interesting, but it's definitely got an interesting nose to it. I could smell that there's a sweeter finish after breathing it in a bit, but it's harsh on the nose. I'm gonna say that it's got a harsh initial, like, oh, wow.
I'm actually pretty good with the nose on it.
Well, let's cheers this and take a sip.
Cheers.
Oh, that's interesting. That's a lot smoother than I thought it was going to be. It's not as bad as I thought.
I get a little bit of a nuttiness to it.
I get a cherry taste. Like, you know, cordial cherries? Have you ever had cordial cherries? Those candies that you get?
Uh-huh.
Like Valentine's Day or some shit?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I get when I sniff it.
Got a little bite on the end, but nothing harsh.
Yeah.
I definitely seem to get a little nuttiness. I don't know where that's coming from.
Probably the beer we had at the bar earlier. That's the only thing I can think of. Because I don't really get a nutty. I definitely get the oak, and I get some cherry, mild leather smell taste.
I get the leatheriness.
Yeah, it's not super...
I get a little bit of the oakiness.
Not super strong, but it's definitely there.
Yeah. Maybe my taste buds are just off today, but I keep picking up some nuttiness.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's go ahead and scribble a little about this for the neat. Let's do our charts. Enhance. enhance.
Let me pull out my handy dandy notebook.
Blues Clues.
Mm-hmm. We just got a letter.
We
We
just
just got
got
a
a
letter. Wonder who it's from. What's the price point on this, by the way?
I honestly don't fucking remember because that was part of that $1,000 that I spent that day when I bought like 12 fucking bottles.
Can you look it up?
Yeah, we're gonna say it's probably. I'm gonna guess it's about $70. Almost everything I buy is about $70.
I feel like you should look it up. I don't feel like it's $70.
I'll look it up. Give me a minute, but I'm pretty sure it's
Saying.
$70.
I know your phone's handy.
Yeah.
No.
All right, let's see here. Makers, Mark, French oat. Onto the internet. It says it goes for about. Oh, that one's not right. That's a big bottle for 140. That can't be right. Oh, this website says about $50.
Okay, so we'll say
So I'm
50
betting
to
it was
s-
probably $60
yeah,
at the store
50
here.
to 60.
Yeah,
So,
that's pretty good price.
Mhm.
You know, not bad for something under $100. This one says at this store it's $40. So I'm betting it's somewhere between 40 and 70. Let's just go that ballpark, which
okay.
is pretty much where we keep most of these. We're trying to keep them around that. Let's see this. Bill's recipe number 46. It is a Maker's Mark French oat. Delicious, I tell you. It's got a typical wax finish on top of the bottle.
Yeah, it
With
presents well.
With a normal shape of a Maker's Mark bottle, making it delicious.
Presents well.
It is a very peculiar flavor profile, but it is still good. I like it.
We need some ice at this point, huh?
A cube will do. A cube will do.
Cuba dooba doo.
Cubey dooby doo. This one is a mash bill. Let's see if I can find it. So this one says this website says the tasting notes, and I'll read this verbatim. It's from distiller.com for those that are curious about where sometimes we look afterwards. This one says the tasting notes are cocoa powder dusted chocolate truffles, highlights the nose, along with cinnamon and vanilla pudding.
I wonder if that truffle is like where I'm getting the nuttiness.
Nutty, because it's nutty-ish. Maybe. The signature wood program shines through clearly on the palate, delivering notes of toasted coconut and baking spice-laden oak, as well as more creamy vanilla. A short finish offers astringent oak, vanilla, and top berries covered with dark chocolate. So there's where I get the berries and the chocolate. So
the schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
it is interesting that we're both able to pick up some nutty, and obviously we always taste the vanilla. That seems to shine through on almost every fucking bourbon for whatever reason. But I get the chocolate covered berries.
You definitely can pick up a more vanilla once you drop the cube in.
When we get a little dilution. Oh yeah. I get more oak, that French oak smell with the water in there. It kind of mellows out that strong harshness on the nose, so other flavors can kind of come through.
Yes.
I can smell more of the cocoa powder with the cube in there than I could originally. Now, initially, my taste is more chocolate berries with the cube.
I can get a little bit of the chocolatiness now that it's been diluted on my end.
But
I get a heavier bit of the nuttiness, truffliness. The oak seems to be
the cinnamon is still kind of hidden though.
Smoother. I taste the oak, but it's a little smoother. The little bit of bite there was is completely gone.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
It's interesting though how the profile changes when you add a cube and let it dilute.
mm-hmm.
Um, so it bears the question, and I think a lot of people are from two different sides of the coin, right? So you have the people that are traditionalists, that, oh, you must do it neat, and you have
Mm-hmm.
other people like I'll do it on rocks.
Yep.
But then it's like, okay, how many cubes before it's too many cubes? Especially if you're in a bar where they use like the Red Phone booth, for example, in Nashville, they have those giant fucking iceberg cubes that they put in there,
Mm-hmm.
which I feel like they dilute the shit out of a drink if you have it in there too long.
Yeah.
Might be a bit of an excessive cube, in my opinion. I think all you need is a small cube.
Well, they usually try and do like the big block cubes or the big spears because they supposedly don't melt as fast.
Supposedly, but um, when the liquor's been sitting under lights and the lights have warmed that liquor, those cubes melt pretty damn fast.
Fair.
I do like it. It's actually shockingly, for the price point, a lot better than I thought it was going to be honest. I thought this was going to be another one that was not going to be shelf worthy.
I don't know. We've only had two not shelf worthy.
So far, I think everyone's going to be flabbergasted with my scores on this one.
Probably. And I am probably opposite direction of you.
Oh, that'll be interesting. Let's see what we got here. So, the big reveal. Boom, 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 boom. Show the camera.
Cha cha cha.
Oh, you were in the other direction. That is
Yes, I was.
interesting.
Yes, I was.
So let's go over our scores here. Let's do it the overall neat. Let's start there.
So overall I did a 6.
Wow. Yeah, so I gave it a 7 for overall neat.
Yeah.
What about on ice? Did it change it in any direction?
6.5.
Oh, a marginal increase.
The price point destroyed it.
Shit. Yeah, see, I gave it an 8 overall after it went up to ice. I guess I probably should just put a 7 for price across the board.
Yeah, I did.
It really doesn't fucking matter.
I was a 5 on the price point across the board.
Now I look at my board, I'm like, man, that don't make sense. That don't make no damn sense. So smell for you.
Neat was a 6.5, and then it increased to a 7 on ice.
Okay. I did a 7 and then an 8. So I went 7 on the neat and then 8 for the ice. And I feel like for me, the nose lightened up. So when I'm trying to smell it, that's why I gave it more with the ice.
Yeah.
Versus before. It's still way better than I think it's better than that other Davidson Reserve that I've got that we tried. But that one I think has a higher rye note than
I mean, it's definitely a thing with the higher rye notes for you, especially.
Yeah.
You don't care for that
Nope.
extra bite, so that definitely
fan.
Destroys the smell and the taste on your end.
Yeah.
But what'd you do on taste?
I gave it 8 across the board.
I was a 6.5 and a 7.
Yeah, because it didn't really change the flavor too much. The only thing that reversed it for me was the way that I could smell more of the chocolate berries with it neat. But then when I watered it, it smelled more like the cocoa powder, but tasted like chocolate berries, which was weird.
Yeah, for me, like the smell, like the vanilla kicked up quite a bit there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it bumped up to a 7 with the ice.
Weirdly, though, in this review, there was no leather notes.
But maybe it's a hint.
But maybe it's because of that truffly coconut and maybe those flavors together makes it kind of
that nutty taste I taste in this like was heavier for me, but everybody's palate's different, so
I agree.
We tend to, I guess, gravitate to more certain flavors more than others, so we tend to pick different flavors.
Yeah.
And then on share or not to share,
I said share it.
I picked share.
For a screw top, that's actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would say it's it's worthy of room on the shelf next to the Buffalo Trace and the Wellers.
Yeah, why not? If somebody wanted to try something different,
yeah.
and they saw it said French oak, they're like, "Oh, what's that taste like?" Well, let me pour you a glass.
But as far as price point for me, I was just I was unimpressed for the price point.
I think it was pretty good for price. I gave it a 7 across the board because if it's between $40 and $70 for the taste that you're getting, and the fact that it's not a standard finish bourbon and it's finished in another manner, that's why I was like, because a lot of these ones that are like mixes or weird flavored or gimmicky bourbons, whether they call it a toast or whatever,
Yeah.
they usually jack the price up for no good damn reason.
I mean, and this one, like I said, it didn't impress me enough for the price.
Yeah, I get that, but it was not too shabby.
No, I could definitely sit around and drink this.
I would say, if those of you that are curious about this one, go look at your local liquor store. Once again, this is the Maker's Mark French Oat, which is a screw top, which is kind of sad that it was a screw top. I was a little let down by that, but so is Weller's. Weller's has that one as a screw top, and that one's pretty damn good too. So
is Buffalo Trace.
I guess you can. Buffalo Trace isn't a screw top.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
The big bottle is.
The big bottle, yeah.
Yeah.
But those Wellers, the one, well, that big one is. Yeah. But there's another Wellers. It's I forget which label it is, but it is a screw top too. I think it's the antique.
The white one?
No, the red label one.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I have to re-look at some YouTube videos, but I'm pretty sure one of those Wellers, this normal size half liters or whatever the size these things are, fifth, has a screw top.
Yeah, because we haven't had the Wellers Antique or the white label Wellers.
Not yet, but they'll come eventually. Just like the girls. We've got a ton of shit to try, and so we're gonna keep trying and churn out more of these bonus materials of these reviews. Okay.
I'm so excited, I just can't hide it. And I know I want to review it.
Terrible. That's just awful. We will never use that in any of our things because that's just. First of all,
will totally be on there.
People are gonna be like, "Oh my god, these guys are terrible."
And we do have some big things in the work for the merch department.
We do have some big things coming.
Yeah.
Get it? We do have merch though. We've got shirts, we got hats, we got coasters, we got cups, we got not the cups that you put in your shorts, but the cups you drink out of with our logo emblazoned on. We have two different style cups. We got the ones with just it on the side, and we got the ones where it's got the bottom when you're tipping it up.
Yeah. Our good old buddy at
119
at Lunch is Dead as Fuck podcast had to have you clarify if it was a cup you drink out of or a cup you put in your pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's two different types of cups, or it could be a measuring cup. You never know. So that's definitely not a teacup.
Good point.
There are lots of different cups out there.
Good point.
You can spell cup and say I at the beginning.
What? You want me to spell it for you? All right, for everybody who out there who doesn't know what this is, it's an old children's joke from when we were younger. But it's I CUP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good. It's one of my favorite corny jokes from when I was a kid. That one, or how do you scare bees? And you go up and you go, boobies. You're welcome. So for those of you that didn't realize I'm ultra childish, if you haven't figured it out by now, then shame on you.
But he goes on his dad joke tour.
Dad jokes?
Yeah, his dad jokes.
Dad jokes.
His dad jokes tour starts in middle of October.
Yeah.
So tune in for that.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to come up with some clever things when I'm full of sand.
Right?
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. It's not gonna be a beach. Some beach for somebody, but it's
I mean, it could be a beach
if there was water near it.
There doesn't have to be a water for it to be a beach.
Isn't that the qualification for a beach, though?
I mean, technically, if part of that area touches water at some point and it's tied to that, it's still a beach. It's just a very long beach.
Very, very long beach.
Yeah,
it's a very expensive beach.
Yeah, you just haven't made it to the water edge yet. That you know, the tide has receded for millennia.
That's I was gonna say that's thousands of acres, thousands of acres of just sand.
Yeah.
I don't know why fucking people still live it, but they're crazy. Anyway, that is going to wrap it up for us here at bourbonsauced. If you guys like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, and share. Because if you don't share, how else are we going to grow this channel? And I know Ryan and I are putting in enough work here that you guys should definitely share it with your friends, because if you think we're funny, chances are your friends will think we're funny. So until next time, get sauced and cheers.
Cheers.